As we come on the air tonight, investigators are trying to understand why a heavily armed man opened fire on a young pop star just as she finished what would become her final performance.
Christina Grimmie, the rising young voice star, gunned down at a performance.
You may recognize her. This is Christina Grimmie. She's a star of YouTube and reality TV.
She finished third during season 6 of The Voice in 2014.
Hey guys, what's up? We're in Orlando today. Please come to the show if you live near Orlando, Florida. We are at the Plaza Live. Please come out. Bye.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you're watching this. It's been a bit of a while since we looked at a true crime case, but today that is exactly what we're doing. Today we will be looking at the case of Christina Grimmie. Christina was most well known for being an incredible singer and a wonderful YouTuber. She was also a contestant on the TV show The Voice in America, and she worked very closely with Selena Gomez. Christina Grimmie's life and death was incredibly shocking to the internet world. She was so unbelievably loved, and what happened to her was complete and utterly devastating. Today we look into Christina's life and horrifically unfortunate demise. Christina Victoria Grimmie was born on March 12, 1994 in Marlton in New Jersey. Her parents were Tina and Albert Grimmie, and she had an older brother called Marcus. Her childhood was positively ordinary, and by that I mean she was brought up well in a loving home with working parents who tried their hardest to provide as best as they could for their children. The household was very religious, and their faith wasn't just a religion to them, it was their way of life. They would always try to be as good as they could be, and they always wanted to help other people. They were just all-round good humans. Christina Grimmie attended Bethel Baptist Christian School as a child. She would also continue her studies at Marlton Middle School and Cherokee High School. Christina Grimmie always knew that she wanted to sing. She had a natural talent for it, and she was incredibly musically minded. She had a complete and utter love for music, and she also started playing the piano from the age of 10. Christina Grimmie did receive piano lessons, but she actually said that the way that she learnt the best was to kind of feel out the music and listen to each note by ear. And I think you can really see that in her YouTube videos. When she's working with the piano and singing along to it, she's almost feeling out the notes and feeling out what works. You can really see the passion in her as well. She really did love to sing and perform. The way that she felt out the notes and the way that she was with her instruments and singing really did help her later on, because she was quite well known for covers. And when I say covers, I mean covers of other artists' songs. But she would always create a really personal version of a cover. And actually that's quite hard to do, because you can sing a song and quite naturally you'll sing it in the way that the artist sang it. But to make it your own, there is a lot of skill in that. And that skill is something that Christina Grimmie had a lot of. When Christina Grimmie was 15 years old, she started her YouTube journey. Her friends told her to put her videos online, and she did. She uploaded her first video, and it was a cover of Hannah Montana's song, Don't Want to Be Torn.
Hi, I'm going to be singing I Don't Want to Be Torn by Hannah Montana. And I'm going to be playing on piano. And if some of the notes are wrong, you know, or whatever.
She would also, in the same year, cover Miley Cyrus's song, Party in the USA. And it was this video that actually went viral, and she started getting a lot of recognition. 2009 was a really good year for YouTube, and Christina Grimmie had just entered it at the complete correct time. In 2009, the most watched YouTube video on the platform was Susan Boyle's audition on Britain's Got Talent, where she sang I Dreamed a Dream. And the third most watched video was Miley Cyrus's music video for Party in the USA. So the fact that Christina Grimmie dropped her cover of Party in the USA, and the platform just being really big on covers of songs as the top searches at that time, Christina Grimmie had entered into the YouTube platform at the right time with the exact right niche. I honestly don't think she or her friend knew just how fantastic of an idea it was to upload her videos onto YouTube at that time. In 2009, she would also collaborate with 2 other YouTubers as well, and in this collaboration they covered Nelly's Just a Dream. And this video did really, really well, and in the span of the 10 years since it got posted, it actually surpassed 190 million views. Christina did not just get famous because of her talent though. She was so lovely, and she was genuinely lovely, that it came through her videos.
Huge thank you to all of Team Grimmie, because we are the winners of the iHeartRadio contest. I really don't even know what to say. I just thought that I would come on here and say, holy cow, guys, thank you so much.
Some people can act nice and seem kind online, but you might think, I doubt they're like that in real life. Well, Christina Grimmie just came across as incredibly genuine, and her followers and huge fan base really noticed that. She would constantly post videos saying thank you to her fans and speak to them on a very personal level. She would also try to encourage her fans, and she would often tell them that she loved them. In fact, she actually called her fans Frans, which was a mashup of the words friends and fans. She was always very keen to kind of lose that line between fans and personal relationships. And I think because of this, her fan base became incredibly loyal, because they weren't just a fan base, they were all her friends. A moment in her YouTube journey that would change her life is when she entered a competition for YouTube in 2011, and she actually went on to finish second in the entire competition, losing out only to Selena Gomez. So a professional, well-established singer was the only reason why Christina Grimmie finished second. That is huge. On the back of this, Selena Gomez's mother, Mandy Teefey, would actually start watching all of Christina Grimmie's YouTube videos. And Mandy Teefey and Selena Gomez started seeing that Christina Grimmie's videos are actually doing really, really well, and wow, this girl has talent. But again, what was noticed? Oh, it was that Christina Grimmie was also such a sweet person. And because of all of this, Mandy Teefey and her husband Brian would soon become Christina Grimmie's managers. Christina and her brother Marcus were incredibly close. So close, in fact, that when Christina first went on tour, Marcus joined her as her guitarist. Christina Grimmie being managed by Selena Gomez's parents worked incredibly well. Christina Grimmie, Brian and Mandy Teefey all got along so well, and Christina Grimmie and Selena Gomez became incredibly close too. All of them commented that basically it was like they were a family. Grimmie would then become a member of Selena Gomez's group, Selena Gomez and the Scene, as one of Selena's backing singers. But not only was all of this happening, Christina Grimmie was so ambitious that at the same time she was keeping her YouTube going too. She was very constant with uploading videos and always made sure that she was still connecting with her fans. Christina and Selena again just got closer and closer, to the point that Selena Gomez became Christina's mentor. I just want to say something there. Every now and again I might say Selena, Mandy, Brian or Christina or even Marcus, as I don't want that to sound disrespectful because I'm just using their first names. I do not know anyone in this case, and if I do just say the first name of someone, then I do apologise for that. Okay, back to the video. Christina would perform in the UNICEF charity concert in 2011 and performed backup vocals for Selena Gomez and the Scene on the first Digitour in 2011 too. A lot happened for Christina Grimmie in 2011. This was really feeling like her year, and she would also appear in the Billboard Social 50. She would be the opening act for Selena Gomez and the Jonas Brothers. She toured for 6 weeks with Selena Gomez and the Scene as well. Grimmie would also release her first EP entitled Find Me. This hit number 35 in the Billboard 200 chart in the US. Radio Disney played her song Advice, and she continued to create content for her YouTube channel, as the music video for this song would be uploaded within a month of her EP being released. She appeared on The Ellen DeGeneres Show and performed at the 39th American Music Awards of 2011. She was also in commercials for Doritos. In England, we call those adverts, and basically it's exactly the same thing. But anyway, she was becoming a household name. It was just a huge year for Christina Grimmie, and she was reaching the heights that she'd always wanted to reach. And for the next 3 years, it just gets better and better for Christina. She moved to Los Angeles and she starred in a Disney.com show called Power Up with Christina Grimmie. Her YouTube channel was going from strength to strength too, and by 2013, she had 375 million views and over 2 million subscribers. Only one can dream. She released her debut album called With Love and posted music videos on her YouTube channel to go along with it. And in 2014, her life would change again. In 2014, season 6 of the hugely popular TV show The Voice was in its casting stages, and Christina Grimmie decided to audition. If you don't know what The Voice is, basically it's a TV show where, and this sounds a bit strange, but stick with me. So a contestant will come out onto the stage, but the judges are actually facing away from them. They can't see them. They can just hear the voice. And the contestant will sing a song, and if the judges like that contestant and want to manage them in future episodes, then they will spin their chair around and say, "I choose you," which sounds a bit Pokemon now I say it. But basically, if they turn their chair around, it shows that they are interested in working with the contestant. And it is very uncommon for all 4 judges to turn around. However, guess what happened when Christina Grimmie took to the stage? She got up and she auditioned with a cover of Miley Cyrus's Wrecking Ball. And seriously, very, very quickly, all 4 judges turned around to want to work with her. They all knew that she was something special, and her voice absolutely wowed them. But because all 4 judges turned around for Christina Grimmie, that meant that now Christina had the option of choosing which judge she would like to work with. And she ended up choosing Adam Levine, who is best known for being in a band called Maroon 5. Grimmie would go on to do really well in the competition, but she actually ended up 3rd. She didn't win, unfortunately, but I think in a way that she did. She became a household name, and so many people actually wish that she did win. From her success on The Voice, Adam Levine and Lil Wayne offered her record label contracts, but she ultimately chose to sign with Island Records instead. She toured with other previous The Voice contestants and began writing and recording her next album. Although lots of fantastic things were happening for Grimmie, in the same year, 2015, Kevin Loebel would begin to follow her journey on YouTube. Kevin Loebel became a very big fan of Christina Grimmie's. But before we link those timelines together, we need to go into as much of the background as we can explore about him. Kevin Loebel was born in St. Petersburg on the 10th of 3rd, 1989. He grew up in a very toxic household in which his mother would beat him. Kevin got himself a job at Best Buy, but it was noted that he was incredibly awkward around his fellow employees and the customers. He seemed like a bit of a loner and didn't really get along with anyone. And when I say that he worked at Best Buy, he actually kept being moved around Best Buys, 8 in total, because he just wasn't meshing with any of the teams. In 2010, his mother actually took her own life due to an overdose. And Kevin always blamed himself, because just before this happened, they had a fight and he encouraged her to go off and do it. Kevin was also completely obsessed with World of Warcraft, and he was never really interested in women at all. And that was until he found Christina Grimmie. His father, after Kevin's mother died, actually found a new partner, but their relationship was so unbelievably toxic. They fought all of the time. They would even have the police called, as sometimes it just got so heated. One incident noted that Kevin's father's girlfriend once followed Kevin upstairs mid-argument, and Kevin said that he didn't see her, but he managed to trap her arm in his door as he was slamming it shut. 10 days after the incident, the girlfriend went to the police about this, but Kevin was never charged. Kevin found Christina on YouTube in 2015 and almost immediately became obsessed. He absolutely loved that she was a gamer. He loved that she had a strong belief in Christianity, and he was also convinced that she was the reason why he was going to be a better person because of her affirming videos. Christina Grimmie, as I've said before, was always very personal with her fans in her videos. She would always say things in hopes that she would make people feel better, and she would always say that she loved them. And on the back of this, Kevin actually got better. He started looking after himself more and really caring about his appearance. He got his teeth whitened, he lost weight, and he got corrective surgery on his eyes. A lot of people believe now that he actually got all of this done just to be more attractive to Christina Grimmie, but they never actually spoke before this, and Christina Grimmie didn't actually know Kevin personally. However, Kevin believed that he and Christina were soulmates. So as I say, Christina Grimmie, and for lack of better words, excuse me for this phrase, but she's out there and she's living her best life. Everything that she has ever dreamed of is happening, and she is literally going from strength to strength in fame, popularity, and all the good things that could possibly happen to her. Grimmie noted her biggest influences as Christina Aguilera, Celine Dion, Stacey Orico, Lady Gaga, and Beyonce. You may notice that all of these that I just mentioned are huge names now. Maybe not Stacey Orico, but she was quite big at this time. I find it incredibly heartbreaking because I feel like if what we talk about next didn't happen, I truly feel that Christina Grimmie's name would have been as big as her inspirations. On the 10th of June 2016, Grimmie performed with For You Exit at the Plaza Live in Orlando, in Florida. Grimmie played a fantastic set, as she always did, and had the intention that after the show, she would meet her fans and sign autographs and take photos. In the crowd, watching her performance, was Kevin Loibl. When the performance ended at 10 p.m, Christina set up inside the venue a small area where fans could queue and meet her, and it was all going as expected. There was an atmosphere of love and joy, and Grimmie, who was excellent with her fans, treated everyone like her friend. So when Kevin Loibl reached the front of the queue, she greeted him with her arms wide open for a hug. And in the same second, he drew a Glock 19 9mm and shot her 3 times at point blank range. Grimmie dropped to the floor and she was bleeding from a head wound. An on-site physician gave her CPR, but she was ultimately rushed to the hospital. And by 10:59 p.m, she was pronounced dead. After Christina Grimmie was shot, her brother Marcus immediately jumped the table that he was at and launched himself at Kevin. Marcus tackled Kevin, but Kevin managed to break away, and Kevin threw himself against a wall and then took his own life, just as he had taken Christina's. Weeks before a Christina Grimmie show, he bought a ticket, he bought guns, and waited 5 days for those guns to be delivered. Now that we all know about this case, there is actually a photo of Kevin at the show, which is incredibly chilling, and I will add that to this video now. The Orlando Police Department say that Kevin actually took a taxi to the show, and on his person were 2 handguns, 2 extra magazines that were completely full, and a very large hunting knife. Unbelievably, at the show, there were no metal detectors and there were no staff patting people down. So Kevin had walked into the crowd of that show with all of that on him, and if he wanted to, he could have taken many more lives. I think, and this is awful, but the only reason as to why he didn't was because he was aiming for Christina. And I think he thought that if he made himself known, then he would have missed the opportunity of taking Christina Grimmie's life. His friend also said that before the show and on what would be the last shift at Best Buy, he would tell his friend that he loves him and that he's tired and ready to ascend. Hearing that would raise serious alarm bells to me, but you just don't think that that is what someone's going to do to themselves or somebody else. Kevin had no previous diagnosis of any mental illness, but he did have a history of violence. His family actually said that they didn't know that he had any plans to go to Orlando, and they had no idea that he possessed any guns. They also said that they have never heard of Christina Grimmie before, and they had never watched The Voice. They also had never heard Kevin speak about her. However, his only friend in the world claimed that he did know about Kevin's obsession with Christina Grimmie, though unfortunately he did not know that it was to this extent. Kevin's co-workers as well also knew that he was obsessed with Christina Grimmie, but yet again, not to that extent. In fact, apparently, if they asked him why he was so obsessed with Christina Grimmie, he would get incredibly angry and defensive over it. No one will ever know of his motive. No one will ever know why he did it. Christina Grimmie was kind, considerate, and she wanted everyone to feel loved. She made herself completely approachable and had very little security. She wanted that interpersonal connection with all of her fans, just like she'd been having through her YouTube videos. As her fame got more and more, she never lost who she was and what she valued. I think if I was pushed for an idea as to why Kevin did what he did, I think it comes down to that horrible mentality of control, that he wanted Christina Grimmie all to himself. And obviously that's not a reason, that's sick. But I really do think he found some sort of joy in taking her life so that no one else could love her. And I'm agnostic, I don't really believe in heaven and hell, but if he thought he was going to ascend, why on earth, if he truly believed in Christianity too, would he think that he was going to go to heaven with Christina when he had just taken her life? I don't understand, I will never understand. Unfortunately, no one ever will, because they never found any letters or anything similar to give any understanding as to why he did what he did. Whilst I was researching this case as well, there is actually an awful video that has been made about the night of Christina Grimmie's murder. Someone has taken someone else's fan video of them meeting her, cropped it down, and then added gunshots. It's vile, it's not real, it's just a way of getting attention and views online. It's sick, and it's amassed over 1 million views. A lot of people think it's real, and it's just horrible. I think I also found it when I was scrolling on TikTok as well, which again, if you haven't seen my video, is a dangerous and dark place, and we should all be very careful when searching through TikTok. An outpouring of love came from all directions for Christina Grimmie and her family. She also had a lot of love from fellow celebrities too, and of course, Selena Gomez.
And I don't really understand how this really happened, but I would like to dedicate this next song to her.
Selena Gomez was actually performing the same night, only a few miles from where Grimmie's life was taken. CEO of YouTube at the time, Susan Wojcicki, also paid tribute and posted an official tribute on the official YouTube website. Within the first 4 days, a video entitled In Loving Memory of Christina Grimmie amassed over 2.5 million views and 33,000 comments. Grimmie's death has caused certain venues across the country to increase their security, and it has also prompted discussions across the country over mental health and weapon possession. For those that have seen my video on the case of Dimebag Darrell, you will notice quite a few similarities. And at the time that Christina Grimmie died, Pantera got involved again to stress how important it was that venues had the right security in place. They also said that these 2 events now should be enough to make this happen. There is an incredible video on YouTube of one of Christina Grimmie's covers. She covers a song called Titanium by Sia, and in this video it's awful, because there is a lyric that says, "You shoot me down, but I won't fall." I just got chills, just got goosebumps there, because in hindsight that is I don't have the words. This video has now been turned into a fundraiser for the Christina Grimmie Foundation. This foundation exists to support families who have lost a loved one to gun violence. This one video has currently raised over $11,000 for the foundation. So that was the case of Christina Grimmie, an incredibly sad case, incredibly horrific case. I knew about Christina Grimmie, but I have a friend who loved her, really followed her journey as and when it was happening. I don't think that even with this amount of time that people have healed entirely from this, because it was so shocking and no one expected this at all. She was genuinely what seems to be a beautiful soul, and she will never be forgotten, and her memory will live on. All of her videos can still be viewed on YouTube. I just wish that she had the time to have made a lot more and done everything that she wanted to do. I just want to say thank you to a couple of people who have really supported me recently. That is Jenna and Lauren, Dave and Ben. I really appreciate you. You are wonderful humans. Thank you for being here for me. I also want to thank all of those on YouTube who know that recently I dropped out of the YouTube Partner Program, and immediately you all rallied around me and basically came to my aid. I felt like that scene in Lord of the Rings when Gimli says, "And you have my axe." I felt very that. So thank you. There are so many of you, and I really would love to say thank you to all of you. But when we get back to the YouTube Partner Program, then I will do a small video, just say thank you to you, because you are the reason that I can continue to do this. And speaking of people that help me continue to do this beautiful YouTube journey of mine, I would like to say thank you to my Patreons: Lawrence, Chris, Nathan, Ben, Louise, Geraldine, Chelsea, Heart of a Daedra, and Russ. Thank you to each and every one of you, especially now with dropping out of the YouTube program. Patreon is literally keeping this channel going. I don't have the words, but thank you so much for your continued support. But for now, that is all from me. I really hope I see you in the next one. If you don't hear from me until then, be good to yourselves and be good to others. Stay spooky and stay sinister. Bye-bye for now.